So hi Trey. Now we are going to go through about acid bases titration. It's not difficult. Just need to try to understand what's the purpose of doing titration and how we are going to do the calculations. The calculations involved is very similar to mole concept. But the difficult part actually is to do the practical. And get good results. So now what's the purpose of titration? There are many reasons why we do titration. First reason is because sometimes we are given a solution which with an unknown concentration. Second is because we want to determine the formula of compound, including the water of crystallization. So this is like, for example, like your CuSO4, dot 5H2O. Sometimes the water of crystallization may not be 5, maybe an unknown number. Determining the percentage probability of compound. So let's say in a compound I have impurities present. I want to find out how many moles or what is the mass of it inside that's pure that will react, and to determine the stoichiometry of a reaction. So two main types of titration that we are usually doing is either acid bases or redox reaction. Redox reaction will teach you when term 3 starts. So let's take a look at question 1. Question 1, sulfamic acid is a white solid often used in distilling powders. It is used to remove insoluble carbonates left in containers like kettles as a result of heating water in them. So you are supposed to determine by titrating the concentration of sulfamic acid in a solution made by dissolving a distilling powder in water. So this objective of this titration is to find out how much sulfamic acid is present inside the powder itself. P is a solution containing sulfamic acid prepared by dissolving 15.10 gram of the distilling powder in water and making the solution up to 1 dm cube. What do I mean by making the solution up to 1 dm cube? So there's this new apparatus that you will learn. It's called volumetric flask. Later I'll show you a diagram. You can go and Google it. Volumetric flask. The purpose of it is just to make sure that it is accurate in making sure that you actually contain just nice 1 dm cube of like solution. And then Q you are given is a sodium carbonate with a known concentration. So P, you're supposed to put it inside the burette. Still can remember how a burette looks like or not? The burette is the tall one that we actually need, and it is used to find out the volume that is necessary to react with the sodium carbonate. Then for Q, you're supposed to pipette 25.0 cm cube portion of Q into the flask and titrate with P using the indicator provided. So pipette, we actually went through in our first lesson with the pipette filler. You're supposed to draw the liquid out and then pass it into the conical flask in this case. There'll be an indicator provided, based on whatever reactions that you are doing. Record your titration results in the space below, repeating the titration as many times as you consider necessary to achieve consistent results. So for titration, we want you to present your answer in the table form. You do not need to draw this table for now because you haven't done the experiment yet. But what do I mean by repeat as many times as possible? Of course not to do many times, but usually 2 to 3 times will be enough. But please make sure that your volume is repeatable. Repeatable means that you are able to achieve the same amount of volume, let's say about plus minus 0.10 cm cube. Because by ensuring that your results are repeatable or things that you can replicate again, this means that your results is accurate. And again, in science experiment, we always have to do a few times, in order to make sure that your answers, in order to reduce human error. So this titration, you are doing this, and this is the equation. The purpose is to determine the concentration of sulfamic acid present inside the powder. So what happens is that first you have to dissolve this 15.1 gram of distilling powder, which you will use. So you need to use mass balance to go and electronic balance, sorry, to go and measure, and then you add water inside a beaker. Then you will transfer into a volumetric flask. So this is the volumetric flask. There'll be a marking that is required. Somewhere over here, this marking that will tell you that it is the 1 dm cube mark. Which is 1000 cm cube. So you just need to water until you finish until you pour over here. Then after that, you're supposed to transfer this solution over to your burette. In this case, then after that, the conical flask will contain solution P, which is my sodium carbonate, and I draw out exactly 25.0 cm cube. So in this case, I will keep adding the solution Q drop by drop until it reaches the end point. So think about it. How can we determine the end point? Okay, you need the indicator to help you. Okay, so this is an example of a meter orange indicator. I use this example because I only have this picture, but just to let you know, this experiment, because it's a strong, it's actually for this experiment, because it's a weak acid, right? The endpoint need not be able to, may not be able to use this indicator in this case. Okay, but just to share with you, for meter orange, okay, it is yellow in an alkaline medium and orange in the at the endpoint. Okay, so that means if let's say I start off with a base or a alkaline, I'll just keep adding the acid until I see the color change from yellow to orange. But if I start off from an acid, okay, it will be red. So I keep titrating until I reach orange color. Okay, so depending on where you start from. Okay, is it a acid here or is it a alkaline present? The final color change will be orange. Okay, so just nice, you just want that one final drop that will just nice make the color change in this case. Okay, so this is what you need to have. Okay, but let's take a look. Okay, so now because we are not able to do the experiment, so you are given the results. Okay, so it was indicated that 19.00 cm cube of volume P is required to actually react with Q. Okay, Q is actually 0.0510 mole per dm cube of sodium carbonate. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, what does this mean? This means that 19 cm cube of solution P just nice reacted with 25.0 cm cube of 0.0510 mole per dm cube of solution Q. Okay, this is given, and this is also something that is fixed because you put 25.0 cm cube. This is the results that you got from your experiment. Okay, so think about it. How can I determine the concentration of sulfuric acid? Okay, Q is my sodium carbonate, P is my sulfuric acid, H2 and SO3H. Okay, so let's recap our mole concept again. Step 1. Okay, you need to calculate the number of moles of Na2CO3. Okay, so concentration times the volume. Okay, and remember divide by 1000 because it's 25 cm cube in this case. Okay, then second step, mole ratio. Okay, because the mole ratio is 1:2. To get the number of moles of sulfuric acid, you need to times 2 in this case. Okay, then finally, how do I calculate the concentration of sulfuric acid in mole per dm cube? Okay, it means that I need to use this number of moles and I must divide by the volume that is required in this case for this reaction. It is 19.00 cm cube. Okay, not the 1 dm cube, because in this case, you know that only 19 cm cube is necessary for the reaction to proceed. Okay, remember to leave your answer in 4SF. Okay, then round off in 3SF. The 4SF, sometimes we need it for the next step, so try to keep it there. Okay, remember to keep it there. Okay, then next one. Okay, how do we get the mass concentration in 1 dm cube, the mass of sulfuric acid in 1 dm cube? Okay, so just to share with you, molar concentration is mole per dm cube. Okay, mass concentration is mass per dm cube. Okay, so take a look at this triangle that we have learned before. Number of moles and mass, what is the relationship? Okay, to actually convert number of moles to mass, you just need to times the mR. Okay, so that's why using the concentration that we found from previous step, this is the previous step. Okay, I need to multiply by 97, which is the molecular mass in this case. Okay, so this will give me actually the mass concentration 13.0 gram per dm cube. Okay, but since I only have 1 dm cube, so I can 13.0 gram times 1 straight away. So therefore, the mass of sulfuric acid in 1 dm cube of P is 13.0 gram per dm cube. Okay, and finally, how can I calculate the percentage mass of sulfuric acid in 15.10 gram of the powder? So I need to use the value 13.0 divided by 15.10 times 100%. Okay, a reminder that you are supposed to use your intermediate answer, like your 4SF or 5SF. Okay, only final answer will be given 3SF. Okay, so it's a good habit to always write down your 4SF or 5SF answer, that you know you need it for the next step. Okay, so that's all, and please proceed to go and try the rest of the question.